Hi, and welcome to DrupalBrief. This is an AI-generated summary of another video, podcast, or blog post. If you want to learn more about what's being discussed here, then please go check out the source. This podcast is produced by the team at DrupalForge. DrupalForge is the new #1 open-source development and hosting platform. It has all the functionality of the expensive platforms, but at very affordable prices. If you're looking for a new hosting provider, contact us for a demo before you get locked in. Okay, that's it. Make sure to click subscribe, and here we go.
Okay, so Google Analytics 4. Anyone else out there feeling like GA4 is amazing, but also kind of a head scratcher sometimes?
Yeah, I hear that a lot, actually.
It's like all this power under the hood, but then you're staring at the reports and thinking,
where's the insight?
Right, exactly. Like, where's the good stuff I used to be able to find in Universal Analytics so easily?
Yeah, it's definitely a learning curve.
Yeah, big time. And we've heard from a lot of you feeling the same way. So that's why today we're doing a deep dive on Looker Studio.
Ooh, Looker Studio.
Nice, because this is the tool that can unlock those GA4 insights. I mean, truly transform how you understand your website data.
Absolutely. And the best part,
Free.
Free 99.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're talking completely free, which is amazing for a tool this powerful.
It's a game changer, honestly. Like, you can go from feeling lost in GA4 to having these beautiful custom reports that actually tell a story.
That's what I love about it. It's not just numbers. It's like suddenly you see the patterns, the trends, the things that actually matter.
Totally. And for this deep dive, we're going to be drawing from a really fantastic resource.
Hit me with it.
It's a YouTube workshop called From Data to Insight Crafting, Custom GA4 Reports in Looker Studio for Website Success.
Love the title already.
It's led by Cameron Panizzi. He's a digital strategist at Sandstorm Design, and he really knows his stuff.
Perfect. So we're going to be distilling all the key takeaways from Cameron's workshop and showing you how to apply them.
Exactly. And what's great about Cameron's approach is he's all about empowerment.
Right. Not just giving you fish.
Exactly. He wants to teach you how to fish.
Metaphorically speaking, of course.
Yeah, no actual fishing poles required.
But seriously, that's the goal today. Give you the skills to build your own custom reports.
Not just rely on some pre-made templates.
Because your needs are unique, your website is unique, your questions are unique. So you need the power to create reports that actually answer those questions.
And the cool thing is, these skills you learn today, they're not just limited to GA4.
Nope.
Looker Studio connects with a whole universe of other data sources.
Oh yeah, we're talking Google Search Console, Google Ads, YouTube Analytics, you name it.
Even e-commerce platforms, CRMs, all sorts of stuff.
So it's like building this central dashboard that gives you a holistic view of your online presence.
A single source of truth.
I love that. Now, before we get too deep into the weeds...
Oh, let's give folks a way to follow along.
Absolutely. So if you're ready to get hands-on, Google has this amazing GA4 demo account.
Free to use.
Totally free. You can access it through a short URL, capital G, lowercase g, 5, lowercase n, capital E.
That'll take you to a page where you can find the Google Merchandise Store web data within GA4.
Which is perfect for playing around, experimenting, seeing how things work without messing up your own live data.
It's a safe sandbox.
Exactly. Now, one tiny caveat.
Oh, right, the disclaimer.
Because it's a public demo environment, there's a slight chance you might hit a data limiting error.
Yeah, if a ton of people are trying to access it simultaneously.
It's rare, but
Yeah.
just a heads up. If you have your own GA4 data ready to go, that's always the most reliable option.
Definitely. But for learning the ropes, the demo account is perfect.
Okay, so you've got access to GA4 data, either your own or through the demo account, and you're probably wondering, what kind of beta are we even talking about here?
Well, the answer is a lot.
A lot.
Like, seriously, GA4 is a data gathering machine.
I mean, think about it. It's tracking every click, every scroll, every interaction on your website.
Plus, it's pulling in all this demographic info about your users, like age, gender, interest, location, even what device they're using.
It's mind-blowing when you think about it.
And to really grasp the scope of what's available, I highly recommend checking out the official GA4 dimensions and metrics documentation.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
You can find it at the short URL, lowercase y, capital V, capital W, lowercase p, lowercase v.
This document is basically your encyclopedia of everything GA4 can track.
Hundreds of dimensions and metrics.
It's massive, but it has a search bar so you can quickly find what you're looking for.
Like, if you're curious about traffic sources, just type that in and bam.
You'll see all the dimensions and metrics related to how people are finding your website.
It's super helpful.
Okay, so now you've got GA4 data. You've got a sense of the possibilities, and it's time to bring in the star of the show.
Drum roll, please.
Looker Studio.
Ta-da!
To get started, just head over to lookerstudio.google.com.com.
Easy peasy.
Now, when you first land on the Looker Studio page, you might see a little marketing spiel about its features. Just look for a button that says something like "Use it for free" and click that.
It'll usually be blue and pretty prominent.
You'll need to sign in with your Google account, and then boom, you're in your Looker Studio homepage.
If it's your first time, it might look a little sparse, but don't worry.
It's like a blank canvas waiting for your data masterpieces.
From here, you have a couple of options.
Mm-hmm.
You can dive straight into creating a blank report.
Total creative freedom.
Or you could check out the pre-built templates that Google offers.
Which are great for getting inspiration, or if you need something quick and easy.
And even though we're focusing on GA4 today, those templates really showcase how versatile Looker Studio is.
Oh, yeah.
You can connect it to all sorts of different data sources. It's not just a GA4 tool.
But remember, our mission today is to teach you how to fish. So we're going to start from scratch and build a report step by step.
Let's get our hands dirty.
Okay, so on your Looker Studio homepage, look for the option to create a new report. There's usually a button labeled Create or something similar.
Click that, and Looker Studio will ask you to choose your data source. This is where the magic starts.
You get to tell Looker Studio where to pull the information you want to visualize. And you're going to be amazed by the sheer number of options.
It's like a data buffet.
Seriously, you'll see all the familiar Google products under the Google Connectors heading, and those are typically free to use.
Like Google Analytics, Google Search Console, Google Ads, Google Sheets, even BigQuery.
And it doesn't stop there. Looker Studio also has thousands of partner connectors.
These are integrations with all sorts of third-party platforms and services.
While some might have costs after a certain level of usage, they open up a whole new world of data possibilities.
You can connect to e-commerce platforms, marketing automation tools, CRMs, project management software. The list goes on.
But for our deep dive today, we're going to stick with Google Analytics. So find and select the Google Analytics connector.
You can use the search bar to find it quickly.
Once you click on it, Looker Studio will show you all the Google Analytics accounts you have access to.
This is important. You need to choose the right account and then the right property within that account.
Because especially in larger organizations, your data might be spread across multiple accounts and properties.
Like Cameron's company, Sandstorm, they usually have one main account for the whole organization.
But then separate properties for each individual website they manage.
Makes sense.
So if you're using the demo account, you'll probably see a couple of properties listed. Choose the one labeled Google Merchandise Store Web Data.
Once you've selected the correct account and property, hit that Add button.
Looker Studio will take a moment to connect, and then you might see a quick disclaimer about sharing reports.
This is just a reminder that Looker Studio reports are meant to be shared easily, kind of like Google Docs or Sheets.
So if you share a report publicly, the data within it can also be accessed. Just something to be mindful of.
Once you're comfortable with that, click Add to Report.
And presto. You should see a default data table appear in your Looker Studio report.
It might seem a little basic at first, but trust me, this is where the real fun begins.
This is where you start wielding the power of Looker Studio to shape your data into meaningful insights.
One of the big frustrations people have with GA4's standard reports is that they can feel very limiting.
Like you're stuck with the data points and the layout that Google gives you.
Yeah, it's not as customizable as Universal Analytics used to be.
But in Looker Studio, you have so much more control. You can choose exactly what data to display and how to organize it.
To really appreciate the possibilities, go to the Resource tab in Looker Studio and then click on Manage Added Data Sources.
You should see the GA4 connection we just created. Click Edit on that data source and get ready to be overwhelmed.
In a good way, of course.
You'll be looking at a massive list of available dimensions.
Cameron mentioned there are over 370.
It's a lot. We're talking all the standard data GA4 automatically collects, plus any custom dimensions you've set up yourself.
And remember, dimensions are basically the categories you can analyze your data by.
Like page path, city, device, category, traffic source, all that good stuff.
Alongside those dimensions, you've also got a huge array of metrics.
Metrics are the actual measurements, the numbers associated with those dimensions.
Like page views, bounce rate, average session duration, all the juicy stats.
And this massive library of dimensions and metrics is what allows you to create truly customized reports.
Reports that answer your specific questions about your website's performance.
Now, when Looker Studio creates that default table, it often picks event name as the dimension and views as the metric.
Which can be a little misleading because we're so used to page views from Universal Analytics.
Right. And in GA4's event-driven model views isn't always the most useful metric.
Especially if you're trying to understand overall website engagement.
So Cameron suggests starting with a different metric, event count.
Which gives you a raw count of all the different interactions happening on your site.
To switch to event count, click anywhere on that default table. You'll see a setup panel slide out on the right. This is your control center for customizing everything.
Under the metrics section, you should see views. Click the 3 little dots next to it and choose remove.
Then click the blue Add Metric button, type in event count, and select it.
Your table will update automatically, giving you a clearer picture of overall website activity.
All right, so we've got our data connected and we're starting to see the potential. But let's get specific. Let's answer a common question. Which pages on your website are the most popular with your audience?
Good one.
Based on the number of unique individuals visiting them.
So we need to look at unique users, not just page views.
Exactly. To do that, we'll need to tweak both the dimension and the metric.
First, the dimension. What we're looking at.
In the setup panel under the dimension section, you should see whatever dimension is currently selected. Probably event name. Click on that and you'll see that giant list of available dimensions.
Don't be intimidated, just use the search bar.
Type in page and you'll see a few options related to pages. For this scenario, page path is usually the best choice.
Page path is basically the specific address of a page after your main website domain.
Like /blog/how-to guides or /products/new arrivals.
It helps you pinpoint exactly which content people are viewing.
Select page path and your table will update to show a list of individual pages.
Now for the metric, the how many.
We want to see the number of unique users who visited each page.
So in the metrics section, remove any existing metrics and then click Add Metric.
Search for users and you'll see a few options. Choose total users for a general sense of how many distinct individuals visited each page.
Bam! Now you've got a table showing your most popular pages based on unique users.
But there's one more crucial thing we need to address: date ranges.
Ah, yes, the time dimension.
By default, Looker Studio often applies a rolling 28-day window to the data.
But you'll probably want more control over the specific time period you're analyzing.
So instead of adjusting the date range within the chart settings, Cameron recommends using a date range control.
It's like adding a little calendar widget right onto your report.
Makes it super clear what time frame you're looking at.
To add one, go to the Add a Control option in the Looker Studio toolbar. It usually looks like a drop-down menu.
Click on that Select Date Range control and then click and drag on your report to position it where you want.
Once you've added it, you'll see a configuration panel for it on the right.
Here you can set the default date range that will be applied when someone opens the report.
You have tons of options. Fixed date periods like a specific week or month, dynamic options like this month, last 28 days, or even year to date.
And importantly, you can also set comparison date ranges.
So you can easily compare performance to the previous period or the same period last year.
Super helpful for spotting trends and understanding growth.
And having that date range control visible on the report is key for providing context.
Exactly. If you just adjust the date range in the chart settings, it's not immediately obvious to someone viewing the report what time frame the data represents.
But with the control, it's right there in front of them.
Okay, so you've got your pages, your users, your date range. But what if you want to add even more layers of detail?
Zookeeper.
Exactly. Like, say you're curious where those users are coming from geographically.
I can do that.
Easily. In the setup panel for your table, just click the Add Dimension button.
Search for city and either click to add it to the end of your list of dimensions or drag and drop it to a specific position.
And now you've got a breakdown of users by city for each page.
And you can add multiple dimensions to get super granular insights.
Like you could add device category to see how many users are on desktop versus mobile versus tablet.
Or you could add bounce rate to see how engaged users are on different pages and in different cities.
And remember, you can rearrange the columns in your table at any time just by dragging and dropping the headers.
Looker Studio is all about flexibility.
So we've covered changing dimensions and metrics, adding date range filters. But what if you want to filter your data on the fly?
Like interactively explore different segments without permanently changing the report.
That's where input box controls come in handy.
These are like little search boxes that let you filter your data in real time.
To add one, Go back to the Add a Control drop-down menu in the toolbar and select Input Box.
Then just like with the date range control, click and drag on your report to place it.
Looker Studio might even suggest a filterable dimension based on what you're already displaying.
Like if you've been working with the city dimension, it might pre-select that for your input box.
And when you switch to the view mode of your report, you'll see this blank input box.
Type in a specific city like London, and all the tables and charts on that page will automatically filter to show you only data from users in London.
What's cool is you can easily change the control field in the setup panel.
So you can switch from filtering by city to filtering by page path.
And then type in a specific URL like /contact us to see all the data associated with just that page.
Cameron also highlighted a useful distinction between the equals and contains conditions for these filters.
By default, it's usually set to equals, meaning the text you type in has to exactly match the data.
But you can change it to contains for more flexible filtering.
So if you change it to page path and use contains, typing in just blog, would show you data for all pages that have blog anywhere in their URL.
Super handy for broad analysis.
Now, while input boxes are great for interactive exploration, sometimes you need a specific filter to be permanently applied to a chart.
Like if you always want a certain table to only show data for users in California.
You can do that by adding a chart level filter.
To do this, select the chart you want to filter, and in the Setup panel, scroll down to the Filter section.
Click the Add a Filter button, and then you get to choose whether to include or exclude data based on a specific dimension and value.
So in our California example, you choose Include, then select the city dimension, set the condition to equals, and type in California.
Once you save this filter, it'll always be active for that specific chart,
regardless of any global date range controls or input boxes you might have on your report.
Cameron also mentioned a recent update to Looker Studio regarding suggested values that pop up as you're typing filter criteria.
Yeah, he noticed that the user experience can be a bit wonky.
Sometimes the filter wouldn't save correctly unless you actually clicked on one of those suggested values.
Which can be frustrating.
But he shared a helpful tip. You can actually turn off suggested values in the filter settings, and then whatever you type will be saved automatically.
So if you find those suggestions more annoying than helpful, just disable them.
All right, so we've got our data, we've got our filters. Now let's talk about making your reports look good.
Because who doesn't love a visually appealing report?
Aesthetics matter. Looker Studio gives you several ways to style your reports. The quickest is using the pre-designed themes.
It's like instant makeover.
Go to Theme and Layout in the top File menu, and you'll find a selection of professionally designed themes.
Different color palettes, font styles, overall visual vibes.
You can choose a theme that aligns with your company's branding or just one you personally like.
And if you need more control, you can always customize the theme further.
Tweak the background color, text colors, font families, make it your own.
But visuals aren't everything.
True that.
Don't forget to add clear context to your reports.
Labels, descriptions, all that good stuff.
Looker Studio has a text tool that lets you add text boxes wherever you need them.
Use it for report titles, chart labels, explanatory paragraphs. Basically anything you need to make the information clear and understandable.
Especially if you're sharing these reports with others.
You want them to be self-explanatory.
Okay, so beyond tables, which are great for displaying raw data, Looker Studio offers a whole smorgasbord of different chart types.
Oh yeah, it's time to get visual.
To see the options, click the Add a Chart button in the toolbar.
You'll find everything from bar charts and line charts to pie charts, scatter plots, geographical maps, even gauge charts.
The key is to think about the question you're trying to answer and choose the chart type that best tells that story visually.
Like if you want to see how website traffic has changed over time, a time series chart is perfect.
You'll usually find it under the line chart options.
It'll typically default to using a date dimension on the x-axis and a metric like total users on the y-axis.
But you can customize it however you like.
And just like with tables, you have full control over which dimensions, metrics, and filters are applied to the chart.
Now, if you want to show the proportion of traffic across different categories, a pie chart is your friend.
Like if you want to see the breakdown of traffic by device category, desktop, mobile, tablet.
Select device category as your dimension.
Yeah.
And a metric like total users, and boom.
You'll see a beautiful pie chart showing the percentage of traffic from each device type.
And the cool thing is, the basic configuration process, selecting dimensions and metrics, applying filters, is pretty much the same across all chart types in Looker Studio.
Once you've mastered it for one type, you can easily apply those skills to others.
Now, as your reports grow and you start presenting different aspects of your data, you'll probably want to organize them into multiple pages.
Yeah, it's like chapters in a book.
Looker Studio makes this super easy. Just click the Add Page button in the toolbar.
This lets you dedicate separate pages to different areas of your analysis.
Like traffic overview, user behavior, e-commerce performance, whatever makes sense for you.
And to further organize things, especially for longer reports, Looker Studio has the concept of sections.
Sections let you group related pages together under meaningful labels in the report navigation.
It's kind of like creating folders on your computer.
To create a section, go to the Page menu at the top and choose New Section.
Then just drag and drop your existing pages into those sections to create a clear hierarchy.
This makes it super easy for anyone viewing your report to find the specific information they're looking for.
Now, for those of you who really want to go deep down the rabbit hole, Looker Studio has a fantastic feature called Drill Down Dimensions.
Oh, this is fun.
It's like having interactive layers of data within your charts.
A classic example is with geographical data.
You could start with a map or a table showing traffic by continent.
By enabling drill down dimensions, you can click on a continent and instantly see the breakdown by country.
Then click on a country and see the breakdown by city.
It's like zooming in on your data.
To enable it, select the chart you want to make interactive, and in the Setup panel, look for the Drill Down option and toggle it on.
You can then add multiple related dimensions like continent, country, and city in the order you want to be able to drill down.
You can even set a default drill down level so the chart initially displays the data at your preferred level of granularity.
And users can explore further from there.
Okay, last but not least, let's talk about getting your data out of Looker Studio.
Sometimes you need to analyze it in other tools or share it in different formats.
Looker Studio gives you several options. For individual charts, you can usually find an Export Data option in the Charts More Options menu.
It's usually represented by 3 vertical dots.
Clicking that will give you options to export the data as a CSV file, an Excel spreadsheet, or directly to a Google Sheet.
And if you want to export the entire report or specific pages, Looker Studio has a Download Report option under the File menu.
This will export your report as a PDF document.
You can choose to download all pages or just selected ones.
While the interactive drill down functionality might not always work perfectly in exported formats,
These options still give you the flexibility to analyze and share your data in different ways.
So as you can see, Looker Studio is a seriously powerful tool for taking control of your Google Analytics 4 data.
And it's free.
Can't beat that. It lets you create insightful custom reports that go way beyond what GA4's built-in reporting can do.
You're no longer limited by Google's choices. You're in the driver's seat.
And this deep dive has just scratched the surface. We've given you the foundation, but there's so much more to explore.
So play around with the GA4 demo count. Dive into that dimensions and metrics documentation.
Experiment with different chart types, filters, styling options.
Don't be afraid to get creative.
The more you explore, the more you'll discover the true potential of Looker Studio.
And I'll leave you with this thought.
Yeah?
Imagine how much more you could understand about your website and your audience.
If you were consistently monitoring and visualizing your data through custom Looker Studio reports,
What new questions would you be able to ask?
what hidden insights would you uncover?
And how would that deeper understanding ultimately impact your website's success?
It's worth thinking about.
It is.
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, happy analyzing.
Bye.
Okay, we're done. To close off this podcast, I just wanted to remind you that this brief was a fully AI-generated summary, and we take no credit for the original content. If you want to learn more, then check out the source. This podcast is produced by the team at Drupal Forge. Drupal Forge is the new #1 open-source development and hosting platform. It has all the functionality of the expensive platforms, but at very affordable prices. If you're looking for a new hosting provider, contact us for a demo before you get locked in. And if you like this podcast, hit subscribe, post a link on social media, and recommend it to 2 friends. That's it. See you next time. Bye for now.